Hello everybody and welcome back to a new video. As promised from my yesterday's video, I was going to do an extra upload today just as a sorry for uploading so late yesterday. If you're not aware, I didn't actually get around to uploading my video until like 10 o'clock in the evening. So here's a redemption video, I guess, a make up for it kind of video. So yeah, today I will be doing just running through all my albums that I've listened to in the month of March. Now, I haven't listened to too much this month. A lot of it I don't actually have on vinyl or CD or any sort of physical format, as of now, that is. But I have got some here that I can talk about now. So I'll go through the ones that I don't have on vinyl first, and then I will go through, I will go through the ones I have on vinyl first, and then after that I will go through the ones I don't have. So let's just start. So the first couple of albums that I listened to were just by the same artist, so I'll just put them in together. So we have The Works by Queen and also A Night at the Opera by Queen. Big Queen fan over here. Since we got the studio albums box set, we've been listening to a lot of Queen, and just on my own I've been listening to a lot of Queen. I'm a big fan. These actual pressings are both on coloured vinyl, and they're both very great albums. This one is an 80s Queen album, and you know, this one came out in the mid-70s, but I really did like The Works. This was one that I was less familiar with because I never actually listened to this album, but I'd heard A Night at the Opera before plenty of times. So this one was new to me. Of course I knew the hits like Radio Gaga and I Want to Break Free, Hammer to Fall and stuff like that, but listening to the actual album, it was actually really, really good. I really do love Queen and I love their sound a lot. And I think they were really able to survive in the 80s from the kind of death of kind of theatric-y kind of music in the 70s, progressive rock, but they weren't strictly a prog band, but you know, they only just got bigger when the 80s hit. Alright, so that is the first one. Next up, an album that I'm very, very familiar with that I hadn't listened to in well over 2 or 3 years. This is Power Slave by Iron Maiden. As we've been talking about Iron Maiden quite a lot in my videos, I decided to revisit one of my favourite albums of all time, Power Slave, and listening to it with my newly gained prog knowledge and ear for progressive rock, there is actually a lot of progressive rock elements in this. I mean, this is all like ancient Egyptian kind of mythology kind of stuff, and that's very kind of proggy. And you know, my favourite tracks on here: Flash of the Blade, Rime of the Ancient Mariner, the actual title track, Power Slave. You know, I mean, what's more prog than Bruce Dickinson, you know, getting on stage and, you know, wearing the mask during that track and stuff like that. He has like different costumes and stuff, which that's kind of proggy. That's like a Genesis kind of thing, but this is a very good album, and if you like your prog but you also like your classic 80s like metal, this is a very good album to listen to. If you like prog, I think you'll really like Iron Maiden, because they've got a lot of that kind of proggy influence, especially with the bass being quite a prominent instrument in their band. You know, not many metal bands, apart from maybe like Metallica, maybe I'm wrong here, have that kind of bass lead. Alright, next is Going for the One by Yes. Now, I'm sure you're all familiar with this album. This one I am very new to. I'd only really listened up to Relayer and Backwards, but I've kind of tried to branch out of my Yes listening and my late 70s progressive rock. Fantastic album. Very, very much highly recommend this one. My favourite tracks on this one would be the actual title track, Going for the One, but I also love the long track at the end, Awaken. And I noticed that at the end of that track, or not the end, sorry, in the middle of that track, the organ sound was kind of reminiscent of Close to the Edge, which is probably why I loved it so much. But I really like this one. This isn't the picture disc edition, this is just the LP, but it's trifold, which is very nice. And yeah, this is just a fabulous album. One that I would really recommend to people who like Yes. I mean, there was like a weird kind of country rocky kind of feel with the first track on the album, just like the guitar tone and just the way it was played. So yeah, I really loved that album, and I'm hoping to get more into that kind of side of Yes, the post-Relayer stuff. Okay, next, more from the same band. I feel like this video is not going to be too long because I haven't actually listened to too much in this month, but it's just like a cheeky extra video for you guys. So these are all from the same band. I've been having a bit of a Pink Floyd phase throughout this month. Revisited Wish You Were Here and kind of got back into the Pink Floyd loophole. So we have Wish You Were Here, Medal, and also Atom Heart Mother. Reason I revisited Wish You Were Here is because I hadn't heard it in so long, and I re-listened to Welcome to the Machine, possibly one of my favourite Pink Floyd tracks, and just decided to re-listen to the whole album. Such a great album. You know, it's not just Shine On You Crazy Diamond and the actual title track, but, you know, Welcome to the Machine, Have a Cigar, both very, very good, very great songs, very, you know, infectious songs as well. And obviously Medal being Medal. You know, it's got Echoes, One of These Days, very great tracks on this album. One that I revisited as well, because I'd listened to it very long time ago. I say very long time ago, but I mean like 2 or 3 years ago. Maybe like, no, not 2 or 3 years ago. 2 or 3 like months ago. But I hadn't listened to it in a while, so I just decided to revisit it. I hadn't listened to the whole of Echoes in a while, so it was nice to kind of just chill out and listen to that album. And another one that I've been listening to, Atom Heart Mother. Fun story about this when I re-listened to it recently. My phone, right, which is where I listen to a lot of my music. Not really anymore because I've got my MP3 player now, but I usually listen to like new albums and stuff on my phone, but I wasn't listening to a new album today. So I was, that day I was listening to Atom Heart Mother, and my phone just crashed completely. Like, it was working, but nothing was working. Like, none of the apps, like Instagram was crashed, Spotify was crashed, everything was crashed, YouTube, everything. So I think someone above might have heard me saying, oh, I wish I could, you know, be without my phone for just like a couple of weeks. So my phone crashed completely, which wasn't a big problem for me because I had my MP3 player. So I just decided to listen to the entirety of this album while my phone decided to regenerate itself. And I realised how fantastic this album is. You know, not just the actual Atom Heart Mother suite, but the second side of the album. It's fantastic, really, really great. And you know, it's old Pink Floyd. It's classic Pink Floyd at their best, and yeah, especially you know, Summer '68 and fantastic tracks. Yeah. One that I don't really need to tell you guys to listen to because you've probably already heard it. Alright, so the next one here, I did a review of this recently. This is Khan's Space Shanty. I said in my video then that I didn't have it on vinyl, but just decided to get it because it was a really, really great album. One that I really recommend. It's got Steve Hillage in it, so if you're a fan of that kind of music, that kind of spacey kind of prog music, then really give this one a try. This is a very, very, very fantastic album, and just very kind of, you know, laid back, relaxed. Also got its very, very proggy moments, which is what I'm here for. Very big prog fan. Don't need to specify that because you guys already know that. But yeah, just a great album and just a great vibe overall. Just one to listen to when you're just chilling out, really. Finally, for the ones that I do have on vinyl, we have 4th and 5th by Soft Machines, some Canterbury scene prog here. Out of the two of them, I'd say that 4th is my favourite. For just the intro track, Teeth, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I really love Soft Machines sound, the, you know, the improv, the jazz fusion mixed with prog, mixed with all this kind of psychedelic stuff, which a lot of people in my comment sections have said, well, no, Neve, that isn't prog, like, Canterbury scene is not prog. And I think it is because it's progressive, you know, it's something that people hadn't heard, and also it's fusing two genres together of psychedelia and jazz and stuff like that, and prog. So I do recommend these two albums. They're very, very good, and 3rd is also a great album. I need to listen to the stuff before 3rd, the kind of earlier Soft Machine stuff, but I will get around to that. Do not fear, I'm still making my prog journey at the moment. That is all for the ones that I own on vinyl or on like physical form. And now I'm going to tell you the ones that I do not have on vinyl just yet. Alright, so first one we have is obviously Nuclear Nightclub by Wigwam, which is one that I reviewed. I think that might have been the first album that I reviewed in March. Really liked that album. I've revisited it a lot in the past couple of weeks, especially one particular track. that track being, let me find it. Bless Your Lucky Stars. I think I actually mentioned in that was my favourite track on the album, but that is one that I'm regularly listening to a lot. It was very, very good, and I think a lot of you guys were the ones that recommended it to me, but I also saw it on a video of like best prog albums of all time, so that was a fantastic album. Then we have Camel, the music inspired by the Snow Goose, which instrumental album. Love Camel's sound, I love Camel's music, and I really recommend that one as well. And I thought it was just a really beautifully put together album, and I think that you guys will like it too if you like your prog and you like Camel. It's just, as I said, completely instrumental and very classical music inspired, and just great. I really need to get a copy of that one at some point. I just delayed it a bit. So next up is Civilian by Gentle Giant. Now you guys know I did a review of that one. I do have a copy of it, but it's on CD and it's in the Unburied Treasure box set, which is over there, so I don't know if I can actually be bothered to get it out, but you know what the album cover looks like. I'll probably put a picture of it here somewhere. Yeah, it was an okay album, it was alright. Liked the first side, second side not so much. I'm still getting used to that 80s prog feel of, you know, stuff like Gentle Giant, you know, Genesis, Yes, all that kind of stuff. I'm still yet to dive into it, but maybe I'll like it. You know, I'm very open-minded when it comes to my reviews. I don't let my own opinions on the 80s, you know, shadow over my actual opinions, because I listen to them very open-mindedly. I will sit down and say, well, if I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. I'm not going to say, oh, you know, if I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't, which is what my reviews are, really. Alright, and lastly, which was my review yesterday, Amused to Death by Roger Waters. Funnily enough, a lot of you guys didn't like that album, and a lot of you guys, it was quite interesting to see, actually, because I got quite a few dislikes. It's like probably the most disliked album review I've done. Like, I didn't realise so many people didn't like that album. Like, push your own opinions on Roger Waters as a person aside, he's a great musician. I just think that that was a very, very good album, a very, you know, ahead of its time album, and it's a shame that people can't enjoy the things that you like, but you know, it is what it is. And yeah, I think I got quite a few comments like, oh, you know, this album's so bad, like, and it was just really, really weird. You know, it was a great album, but yeah, I think a lot of the comments were just kind of picking at Roger Waters himself. Fair enough, have your own opinions about him. I've got my own opinions about him, but he has, you know, got a lot of good ideas. Talking of that review, it seems that my Wednesday reviews aren't doing as well as my Monday and Friday and Saturday videos. So because of that, I am not sure whether or not to continue them, because it just doesn't seem like you guys are really, you know, as interested in them. Maybe I'm wrong, but it just, you know, they don't seem to do typically as well as like these videos, these kinds of videos. But, you know, I like doing them, so I might just carry on, but if you guys don't want me to carry them on, just let me know, because, you know, I don't want to be putting out something that you guys aren't enjoying. Alright, with that being said, that is the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry for uploading my video yesterday so late, but here we go, I've made up for it. Also, happy 45th anniversary to one of my favourite albums of all time, 2112. I'm going to be doing a post about that on Instagram later, so if you don't follow me on Instagram, it's @theprognerd. It's in the description, you'll see it down there. And yeah, this month has been good for music, and leave some more suggestions so I can get some new stuff into my April listening. See you guys in tomorrow's video, which will be about which will be a Vinyl Community Friday video, which is a vinyl haul. So I'll be telling you guys what I've gotten so far in this month, or just kind of going over like the more interesting parts of it. And yeah, see you guys then. Bye bye.